Hello and welcome to CNB Bazaar Buzz, your go-to destination for all that is there in the automotive industry. And of course, you have always kept following us for that because we bring you the latest of the 2- and 4-wheeler news as also reviews. But today we kickstart things with something that we have been pumped up about right from the 2018 Auto Expo. It's the new Honda Civic. Ever since we laid our eyes on that car, we wanted to drive it, and well, we did. We showed you that as well, but it was all about the price. We wanted to know when it was going to be launched, and we wanted to know how well Honda Cars India will price that car. Well, it's finally been launched and we have all the details for you, and even King Shukdatta has all the details for you as far as variants is concerned, as pricing and the pricing of each and every variant. Take a look. The all-new 10th generation Honda Civic has been launched in India. Honda Cars India skipped the 9th generation, and after being away for 7 years, the 2019 Civic is finally here. And it gets a diesel engine option as well. The all-new Civic is head and shoulders over its predecessors in terms of performance and technology. It gets a striking new design with a sharp front end characterized by an angular bumper and all LED headlamps. The rear styling too is all new with the C-shaped LED tail lights and the fastback style roofline that converges into the boot. It is shod with stylish dual-tone 5-spoke alloy wheels, sleek ORVMs and a shark fin antenna, completing the overall look. The Civic is equipped with a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. Other features include adjustable driver's seat, electric sunroof, dual-zone climate control and a digital instrument console as well, which is again a 7-inch unit. In terms of safety, the Civic comes with 6 airbags, anti-lock brakes, electronic brake force distribution, agile handling assist, stability control, hill start assist and an electric parking brake, the works. As far as engines are concerned, the Civic gets a 1.8-litre 4-cylinder petrol motor that pumps out 139 brake horsepower and a peak torque of 174 Nm. The big change, however, is the new diesel engine. It is a 1.6-litre diesel unit and it is offered for the first time in India. It pumps out 118 brake horsepower and 300 Nm of peak torque. The petrol engine is only offered with a CVT unit, while the diesel gets only a 6-speed manual transmission. Honda claims a fuel efficiency figure of 16.5 km to the litre on the petrol version, while the diesel is rated at 26.8 km per litre. The 2019 Civic goes up against the likes of the SKODA OCTAVIA, the HYUNDAI ELANTRA and even the Volkswagen Jetta. Well, the Civic then certainly makes for a great proposition because at 17,70,000 rupees it actually undercuts a whole bunch of its rivals because it's available in automatic transmission on the petrol and the manual transmission on the diesel. So prices are extremely competitive, especially when you compare it to the likes of the SKODA Octavia and even per se the Corolla Altis, even the Volkswagen Jetta for that matter. So it really is a bit more than we expected, but still when you compare it to the rivals and when you compare it to the competitors in that segment, it definitely is bang on, and we really hope Honda gets the attention that it deserves in that segment. 1,100 bookings already on the car, so yes, lot of takers, and 2 months the car has been sold out actually for 2 months now, and you won't get it before that for sure. But now let's move on to something new, something different from Bajaj. We've been waiting for this one too, because it's the 2019 Dominar, and it not just gets a new color, but it gets an updated engine too. So more power on offer, and the same amount of torque though, but new decals on offer, making the bike look a little better. But does it ride better? That's the main question, and Preetham Bora is out there just to find that out. The Bajaj Dominar 400, the most powerful Bajaj. It's a do-it-all motorcycle built for street duties as well as the occasional long-distance tour. In 2019, Bajaj has given the Dominar some updates, both cosmetic as well as some tweaks to give it more power, apparently due to customer feedback, who desired some more punch, more power.
The Bajaj Dominar 400 is the flagship motorcycle in Bajaj motorcycle lineup, and it's been around for a little over 2 years now. It's got an engine sourced from the KTM 390 Duke, also a company owned by Bajaj. But now in 2019, it gets some few updates. For starters, it gets new suspension upside down forks, again sourced from the KTM 390 Duke. The engine has been tuned to make slightly more power. The takeaway was that the Dominar sells about 1500 to 1600 units a month in India, and the same amount in international markets. And customer feedback on the Dominar was that it lacks some serious punch to have that enjoyable, entertaining quality. So that's what Bajaj has done now. It's made some changes, new suspension, a new exhaust system, slightly baitier, meatier sound, and gets about 5 bhp more power. Torque remains the same, but it's spread out over a wider rev range, that's what we're told. And today we're riding the 2019 Bajaj Dominar 400 to see what exactly has changed and how much of an improvement really this one has over the outgoing Dominar 400.
It gets a new color now, and there are some other minor cosmetic updates as well. Visually though, what looks different from a distance is the new upside down front fork and the twin barrel side mounted exhaust, apart from the new color option. The instrument panel gets more information now with a gear position indicator, clock and fuel consumption as well. And under the pillion seat, there's this handy bungee strap to use to tie down luggage for those who seek to go long distance touring.
Now overall, the silhouette of the 2019 Dominar remains the same, but there are some changes. For starters, there's this new color called Aurora Green. We don't know if it's going to be the same name in the production model, but that's what it's called right now. And there are only 2 shades available now. So you won't get a white, you won't get a red. You get this green color, Aurora Green as it's called, and you get a black and grey combination. Black apparently is a more popular color amongst consumers, so black will be retained, and of course this new color. But there are slight changes in the details. The rear view mirrors are new, aluminum stocks. The bar reins have been slightly wider, 12 mm on each side, so it's got a wider stance. And the instrument panel is slightly new. It's a 2-port panel like the earlier one, but instead of telltale lights, now it got a gear position indicator, it got a clock on the thing. But visibility, you'll have to look down. While you're riding, it's not a very convenient thing to look down. Overall, it retains the same silhouette, but yes, you can make out it's the new Dominar because it's got new color schemes and slight changes in the features. The headlight design is slightly different, the rear tail light is slightly different. Overall, it retains the same silhouette, but yes, there are changes in the details. But more importantly, there are changes in the way it performs, and that's what we're going to find out. How it performs, how much of a difference this one makes.
For those looking for long distance touring, the new Dominar certainly will appeal. Out on the highway, it cruises effortlessly at high speeds, and the riding position is comfortable. With more power, it feels like it has more punch now, with a strong mid-range. You can cruise all day long at 120 km per hour with some power for high-speed overtakes. And the upside-down fork certainly makes the bike's handling planted and taut. And the ride quality is one aspect which the updated Dominar excels in. The Dominar handled broken roads, potholes and some off-road stretches with remarkable poise.
Now after a brief first ride, one thing I can say is that a new Dominar, there's been some improvement in the ride and handling as well as the performance. Of course, the upside down forks make it a tauter, firmer handler. You feel more confident taking corners. And the rear shocks, the suspension has been made softer. The feedback from existing customers of the outgoing model was that the ride of the Dominar was a little on the harder side. So if you're going through broken roads, especially the touring, this bike is used for touring, used by a lot of tourers. Over broken roads, the ride felt a little harsh. That was the feedback that Bajaj got from existing customers. So this one's been made a little softer. So it's more comfortable, more planted, and of course the upside down forks make a lot of difference in the handling. Now the engine gets about 5 bhp more power, just under 40 bhp now. Same KTM 390 Duke source engine, but tuning is different. Now it makes 5 bhp more, about just under 40 bhp of power and 35 Newton meters of torque. And exhaust, it sounds meatier, bassier. And 6th gear you can pull cleanly from about low as 48-50 kilometers per hour. And the cruising speed has also improved in the outgoing model. You can cruise comfortably at around 120-130 kilometers per hour. Although we haven't had a chance to test it out straight, I suspect this will easily do about 160 kilometers per hour. So overall, I think in the performance, the dynamics package, the new Dominar certainly is an improvement over the outgoing model.
The 2019 Bajaj Dominar certainly makes for a well-rounded motorcycle this side of 2 lakh rupees. It can be used for the daily commute and it's quite capable of long distance duties and can take a fair amount of beating on gravel roads and even broken tarmac. And with those qualities, it certainly is deserving for a test ride at least if you're in the market for a motorcycle with a budget of around 2 lakh rupees. We'll go into a break right now, but on the other side, we have something a bit more fun. Stay tuned. Welcome after the break, and we are still here at CNB Bazaar Buzz with me, Abhay Naik, and it's now time for something that is fun that I've told you earlier. So we have the review of the BMW F 750S. Yes, it's the middleweight off-roading bike from BMW Motorrad, and it's oodles of fun. And though it's a CB unit and costs more than 10 lakh rupees, does it have what it takes to make it into our good list of bikes, especially those with off-road capabilities? Well, Pritam Bora was out there. He rode the bike to find out more.
It's one of the newest middleweight adventure motorcycles in the market. The F750GS is the slightly road-biased adventure touring motorcycle from BMW Motorrad. If traveling interstate or hundreds of kilometers in a day is your kind of thing, that's exactly what the F750GS is made for.
Now BMW Motorrad has two models in the middleweight adventure segment, the 750GS, this one, and the 850GS. Now don't go by the name, the 750GS is not powered by a 750cc engine as you would probably think. Both bikes share the same 853cc parallel twin engine. The difference is of course in the tuning. This one makes slightly less power and of course it gets alloy wheels, slightly smaller 19-inch wheel. And this one is the more road biased model of the two. And that's the one we're riding, and to see how much of an adventure it can offer you.
The F750GS has typical adventure bike design. So there's that front beak integrated with the half-fairing LED lights, tall and wide handlebar and a full-color TFT screen on our test bike. The standard F70 GS comes with 2 riding modes, Road and Rain, but with the optional Pro package you get 2 additional riding modes, Dynamic and Enduro, plus traction control and quick shifter. Navigating through the different menus on the screen takes some time getting used to. But the rear suspension can be adjusted from the menu for stiffness or comfort, and also if you need to have a pillion on board or luggage. It shares the same 853cc parallel twin engine with the 850 GS, but the state of tune is different. So it makes marginally less power. The chassis and bodywork is more or less the same, but clearly the 750 is designed for riders new to adventure riding. And it's easily accessible for riders of all heights and builds.
Now if you find big burly adventure bikes intimidating, this one, the 750 GS, has got one thing spot on, and that's the seat height. At about 815 mm, this one's got one of the lowest seat heights on any middleweight adventure bike, and I can, with my 5 foot almost 9.5 inch frame, can put both feet flat on the ground. Easy enough to crawl in the city and easy to handle as well.
The 750 GS may have less power than its more off-road focused sibling, but it certainly doesn't lack performance. The parallel twin engine is smooth and there's a likeable pull from the engine in the mid-range, which you will see hitting triple-digit speeds quite easily. Ride quality is pliant and the bike's weight is balanced well. It's taut, the handling inspires confidence, and road manners are quite impressive. And when the tarmac ends, the 750 GS can take on any gravel road pretty comfortably. Experienced riders used to off-road riding may be left wanting for more due to the smaller front wheel and lack of suspension travel. But for the usual adventure over broken roads and the like, the 750 will sail through quite comfortably.
So the 750 GS is made for street duties, on tarmac duties. If you're looking for a tarmac adventure, this one is perfect for it. Comfortable riding position. Well, of course, the engine makes about 77 bhp of power and 83 Nm of torque. Not really out of the range power or really intimidating power. But for someone who's coming into the adventure segment for the first time, this one's got more than enough power really. You can cruise at high triple-digit speeds, cover long distances, and it can do a fair bit of off-roading as well. Of course, it's not completely off-road oriented. Those alloy wheels ensure that you stay on tarmac for long, but it can do the occasional gravel road very easily. But it's got enough punch, and what's missed is some wind protection. This windscreen of course helps the wind buffet away from your body, but a taller windscreen will help on a long highway runs.
The BMW F750 GS is an impressive touring machine. It may not be the hardcore off-road adventure bike, but that's not what it's designed for in the first place. 750 GS will cater to riders upgrading to their first adventure bike, who will seldom leave the tarmac, and there it scores full mark. After a few days in the saddle, more experienced riders may seek some more power and some more punch. But as a primarily tarmac tourer, it offers very likable performance and superb road manners. And that's more reason than one why it deserves a test ride, at least if you're in the market for an adventure tourer.
It certainly is a great proposition to have that bike in India, and BMW, we really hope, comes out with more such bikes for enthusiasts and for off-road enthusiasts more so. Well, that's it for this show, and we hope to see you soon in a new episode, bringing you a new episode altogether. Till then, when you're driving, always wear your seat belts, and when you're riding, it may be in the front or pillion, always wear your helmets. Remember, safety first always. Take care and see you next time.